what's up? And welcome to another episode. Fuck you. Don't fucking look at me like that.
Weak ass intro. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Hot D edition of Brotherhood Without Manners. I'm Zach with the stronger intro. Over here is little baby Weenie Hut Jr. Nate, my brother and co-host. Weak ass intro. Fuck you.
How rude. I do everything around here.
Grow up a little bit. This is a fucking... Are you prepared? Are you ready? What the fuck are you doing?
You're just awful.
You're just stretching in the booth and
No, that wasn't
sorry.
a stretch.
On behalf of us here at Brotherhood, sorry. Nate's being a fucking train wreck today, apparently.
So typically we're not listening to anything. I am a train
You
wreck.
are a
Thanks for
train
pointing it
wreck.
out. You're throwing me off.
Normally we read here.
And then he interrupts me again.
He can't do anything right. You want to go?
No, you've got it. Keep going.
No,
Fuck's
go.
sake.
Go.
Normally we're reading A Song of Ice and Fire.
He got there.
I got it eventually.
We are currently in the throes of Storm of Swords, thick in it, but it's Hot D season currently. Well, season 2 is airing.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to get caught up on season 1. I think we discussed it last show episode, but Nate and I have already watched season 1.
Yeah.
And this is a rewatch for us, but still just as enjoyable. And so, yeah, we did episode 5, last episode of the show, which was fantastic.
We also didn't mention last episode, for anybody who's show specific, we've also read Fire and Blood, so it's also book, like, this is full spoiler, book
right.
and
That's
show.
a very good point.
And so we do
You're getting
have
back onto the
I know,
onto
I'm
the
finding the
tracks. Here
train
we go,
tracks.
yeah.
I haven't climbed onto the train
He's
yet,
got to warm.
but-
It's just like DBD, folks. Your first match doesn't fucking count. You've got to warm up. I guess I kind of just revealed that toxic bit of myself, huh? That
Yeah,
I'm a
you're
DBD
awful.
player.
Stop.
But yes, Nate's finding the track, and so are we. Hot D, episode 6, season 1 is
Yeah.
a fucking banger. One, it introduces the new actresses,
Right.
Emma D'Arcy and Olivia Cook.
Queens.
Queen.
Slay.
I love them both. Olivia Cook has a special place in my heart for this portrayal of Alicent.
Yeah.
She just nails this.
The facial expressions, her eyes,
The-
and
the-
just the
like not
glares.
the like, and I don't want to be like demeaning and call it the crazy eyes, but she has such this intense stare of just calculating and thinking, and in this episode specifically, just her resting bitch face of disdain
So
toward
awesome.
usually aimed toward Viserys and Sir Lionel Strong.
Well, since she's going to be fairly soon in the intro anyway, we
Yeah,
start
well-
the episode 6, The Princess and the Queen, with the 10-year jump.
Yep.
And Rhaenyra is giving birth to her third child.
Yeah, it very much so mirrors the episode 1, her mother's birth,
Right.
where her mother dies, but Rhaenyra gives birth, and immediately the queen wants to see the child, and
Summoned while in the birthing room.
you're getting here. Rhaenyra's reasonably pissed, doesn't want the child separated from her after she just labored to bring it into the world, so she's gonna take it herself, because bad bitches slay.
Yeah. And we get Laenor now, a grown-up Laenor.
Laenor is such a putz in this episode, and I
He's-
love it.
He's a putz in general, but I love
Yeah,
Laenor.
he's very tone deaf to the situations around him, and basically he aids Rhaenyra as best he can.
Right, he pops in and he's like, "What are you doing? You should be in bed." And she's like, "Well,
You're fucking
I
damn
was
right I
summoned.
should."
I would love to be, but yeah." So they make their way up the fucking.
Yeah, it's very similar to like Cersei's march. It's a trudge, and I really like the detail that we get of the Red Keep, because the staircase especially is a very symbolic place that we'll revisit like a few times throughout the Red Keep. It's kind of one of those staple set pieces. And yeah, Alicent is presented the child. She, of course, is obviously immediately disappointed, noting the black hair and the non-Valerian or Targaryen looks at all. And Viserys, Patty, my boy, is just doting on his new grandson.
Look at my son.
Who is, without any, input from Rhaenyra, going to be named Joffrey, as obviously Laenor is still holding on to that little
Yeah.
bit of history.
So I also wanted to draw attention to that. Alicent also made the comment that Laenor did. Oh, Rhaenyra, you shouldn't be here. And she's like, yeah, well, you fucking
that
called
one
for
she
me.
doesn't like respond. She just kind of glares at her like the bitch.
Bitch.
Like, you know why I'm here, because you would do the same fucking thing if 20 seconds after popping out a kid, the queen was like, yes, I want to see it, just to confirm that it is indeed a bastard. And so that's what's at play here. The subtlety on subtlety is that Alicent is trying to check the legitimacy, and she makes some snide comments to Laenor on the way out about, keep trying, and maybe one will eventually look like you.
Right.
And so it's that Alicent is clued into Rhaenyra's bullshittery. And then we get Aegon and the boys down in the dragon pit, who are going to be, boys being boys. Ha 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 ha. One of them doesn't have a dragon. Poor little Aemon One Eye.
Well,
oh, wait, he's not One Eye yet.
He's got 2 right now.
Poor little Aemon doesn't have a dragon yet and gets pranked with the pink dread, which is just a pig with some wings attached to it, which, he takes harshly, but Alicent...
Well, that's because we also did get, right before the prank, Jace was training how to control his dragon and how to make sure it was stopped. And
right, yeah. He's yelling at it in High Valyrian, and you can see still a little trepidatious around it, but he's proud to have a dragon of his own, and Aemond is obviously kind of downtrodden about being the odd boy out, as, children do. You get that envy, that jealousy. He's got the toy that I want. And so, then...
Technically, then we jump over to Pentos, because I believe that we get the dinner with them, and I just because Zach's looking at me confused right now, folks, I put the notes out of order here for some reason. I did all of Westeros, and then at the end of my notes did Pentos. And so Zach...
Well, because doesn't Alicent scold him first? She finds She finds Aegon jerking off in the window, which, voyeurism at its finest. Who hasn't wanted to just free flying? That's a joke, ladies and gentlemen. I am not jerking off in the window, I promise, anymore. So, and this one is where Alicent is kind of scary. Like, because
you start hearing the...
Her
repeating stuff
pressure.
that Otto...
And the pressure she feels on herself, right? This is where she's stressing to Aegon the seriousness of duty and tradition, and everything that Rhaenyra is spitting in the face of, she's trying to uphold and tell literally this fucking idiot that he is now going to need to uphold because he's going to be king. And that isn't, by law yet, but Alicent is already, putting that into his head that, like, you're going to be king, bro. Like, fuck Rhaenyra. It's going to be you. So you need to stop jerking off in the window and start actually acting somewhat like a lordling that you are.
Yeah.
And it's harsh. It's very harsh. And Alicent's parenting is leaving much to be desired, which, Otto's did as well.
Yeah,
so
and we'll see in a little bit that it still didn't take effect.
Generational trauma. So yes, Pentos, which is... wonderfully shot. I really like all the Pentos shots.
Yeah, we get the arrival of them in Pentos. They're doing cool dragon tricks.
Yeah. Like, what up? Flying through some fireballs. And Daemon's like, yo, what up? My wife is super hot. I just flew through her fucking enormous dragon's fireball, so I'm looking somewhat cool by association. What up? And then we get, like, sort of the main deal of, hey, bro, stay here. Right. I'll give you and your family a whole manse. And
Prince Reggio Herodes is the guy that's offering them, hey, I'll give you land to live on. You'll never want for anything again. Not that you would. You get that you're a prince.
I'll give you a manse. I'll give you land. You just protect us.
Keep us safe,
help us out with your dragons, because dragons are fucking sweet, right?
But stay here forever. And so the Triarchy is really trying to get a dragon prince to their name.
They wanted they're trying to establish that foothold once again, and it's Baela, right? Is that who? No, it's not Baela.
His wife?
Yes, I always mix her name up, and I fucking
Laena.
Thank you. Laena is kind of homesick. She's starting to get a little homesick. She's like, yo, I kind of had hoped our daughters would be raised in my homeland, High Tide. Or at High Tide. Driftmark, thank you.
Yeah. And so she essentially says that he's taking...
High Tide's better than Driftmark.
He's taking the easy life as opposed to doing what is right.
Yeah, right.
And
you're burying your head in the sand, and that's exactly what he's doing. And then I like it because, then we get the cut where Daemon is reading with one of the girls, Bela, I believe, there. And, mom comes up and they're going to have some adult talk.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
daughter gets the dad forehead kiss and goes off to bed. And Lena says, like, you're just fucking reading about these dragon lords that you say hold no sway over you, but clearly they do. And, like, I miss my brother. You miss yours. So, like, what the fuck are we doing
This
here?
is clearly not what we want.
And so,
I also misspoke. This is the Prince of Pentos, not the Triarchy. They're
right,
trying to
yeah.
fight the Triarchy.
Pentos is trying to
get a
defend
dragon
themselves from them.
Prince to fight the Triarchy.
Right, yeah. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
So we go back to King's Landing, where my boy Patty and the fucking coolest hand we've had, like, to date
Lionel Strong
in this show.
is a badass.
They're watching over the training yard as
Sir Kristen's having a
Kristen
training session.
Cole is
Well,
training.
who's that? Who's there?
Kristen fucking Cole
Sir Crispy?
is training the young princelings, all 4 of them.
Yeah.
And so, of course, we've got Aegon and Aemon, who are a little, like, even in their dress, they're shown to be a little more regal.
Right.
They've got a little more armor, a little more Targaryen heraldry.
Aegon is kind of handling a training dummy, but as he's ignoring his mother's speech earlier, checking out the serving ladies instead, and still showing up Aemond, who's the smaller of the two.
So Kristen decides to make the 2 princes, Aemond and Aegon, come at him for a training exercise, which they do, and he's able to school them both. And Sir Harwin, of course, now enters the yard and is scoping things out and sees his 2 boys getting neglected during their training regimen.
The younger 2 boys. Not...
Right.
Can't just
the
say
younger
out loud,
two.
dude.
So,
There's people in the
he
yard.
calls out, Cole, maybe pay attention to all of your students and not just those 2. And so then, like, Cole turns into this fucking monster, runs up, grabs Luke.
He starts by, like, he gives a look up to the king in the hand, and just as, like, okay, are they watching? Let's make sure, let's see if we can,
make a spectacle.
Make a show of Harwin Strong here.
Yeah.
He goes and just grabs poor frickin' Jake, and just starts yeeting him around the yard, and is like, you versus fucking Aegon. Get him, Aegon. Get him!
Yeah, and he just bullies this kid through Aegon, where Aegon is much bigger, and Harwin points that out. Hardly a fair fight, but Aegon lays into him at Kristen's, press him, use your feet. He kicks him down, and then don't let him get up. Continue on the assault, and eventually fucking... And, Jace? Is it Jace?
Yeah, Luke is the younger one who
right.
gets eaten.
Jace, does fight back, and then eventually a training dummy kind of gets in the way, and there's a break, and then they go back at it. But, yeah, size overcomes, and then Harwin intervenes, and Kristen makes his dig. The whole point of it is, hey, you're showing a lot of interest in their training, and, only that kind of interest would be shown in, like, a cousin or a brother or a son. And then Harwin whoops the shit out of him, thank God.
Love it.
I wish he didn't stop until his head was what Joffrey's was when Kristen did it to him.
Sure.
But,
a little Ramsay Bolton face.
Right. I mean, considering Harwin dies at the end, it would have been a good way to go out for him.
Sure.
So, yeah, this is witnessed by all. Very bad, not good. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Including little Lionel. And news spreads fucking quick.
Yeah, so Rhaenyra is, like, tiptoeing through some secret passages and overhears the Hand scolding his son about this whole scenario.
And Lionel just won't say the words out loud.
No. Lionel has this, and it's so wonderfully contrasted with Viserys' own willing blindness.
It's similar to Tywin also.
But Lionel is dancing around it, right? He's playing it smarter than Viserys because he at least is acknowledging that it's real and trying to maintain this sort of smokescreen around it, where Viserys is just like, nah, it's not even true.
How dare you even, right.
And yeah, Harwin is kind of like, goddamn, almost wish you were like a little bit more like the king and you were blind to it as well. And Lionel's like, brah, you're opening our house up to weakness, to accusations, to all sorts of shit, and it ain't good, brah.
It's not good.
And so Rhaenyra's hearing all of this, and she's obviously upset because she obviously cares about Harwin and doesn't want to endanger him or his father, who is a great hand to her father.
And so she goes back to her room, Rhaenyra does, with this news of hearing those two go at it.
Yeah, because she, gave birth, so
Right.
she's still trying to hobble
Exactly.
around and resting and everything.
And old hubby shows up
drunk.
just shit, like having the time of his life. He comes in singing and just cajoling.
It's obnoxious. Like, he is the drunk person when you're the sober person. It's that
Yeah.
obnoxious,
Oh,
like, he's
God.
giggling after everything. Whoa, Rhaenyra. Like, it's such a well-delivered line, because it's that.
Yeah, then stumbles into the chair and then giggles about him tripping over the chair, but still, sitting. And
He's excited that there's going to be war in the Stepstones
yeah, he
again.
wants to go
He
battle.
has a purpose again.
I'm a knight. I need to be out there fighting and on the seas and just living the
And this
sailor's life.
pisses Rhaenyra off.
It upsets her.
Because you're not paying attention to... We have our deal. We each dine as we please, and I don't begrudge you that, but our family's being threatened right now. Like, our sons...
People are accusing the
legitimacy. And he even laughs about, like, the claims and, like, laughing at the fact that it's not true. But she's like, they are our sons. Whether or not Harwin fathered them, you are their father as far as this whole little game
as far as everybody
we're playing.
anywhere is concerned.
And you need to act that part. Like,
you need
your
to be
thing,
here.
But you can't go gallivanting off to sea while we're standing these accusations. You going away makes that look 10 times worse.
So she straight up commands him,
as queen. Oof.
you are to fucking stay by my side.
That's never good. So we get a council meeting where they're discussing such issues as the triarchy and that, they dealt with it. And Rhaenyra is pretty pissed and kind of coming off pretty sassy during this. Rightfully so, I think.
Alicent is taking everything sideways with her too.
She's getting so, and like with Lionel, when like Lionel's like, yeah, no, that's a good idea, princess. She's like, oh, fucking course. Of course this motherfucker is gonna side with the fucking bitch fucking his son. Of course. And it's great. Olivia Cook again just fucking nails it with how petty she's being about it. And then Rhaenyra, of course, after discussing the triarchy and all those issues, and we get some funny LOL. Beesbury is kind of losing his sanity a little bit because he's checked out.
We've moved on from the triarchy, my lord.
And Rhaenyra says, hey, girl, we used to be besties. We used to text all the time. And then we had a falling out, and so, like, I've noticed that. There's tension.
My bad. Like whatever
right.
it is. I don't even, like,
Sorry,
bad.
Sorry.
But,
So,
like...
I have a son. You have a daughter. Let's get them married. Like, Jace is older. Jace is older. Jace will marry Helena. And then, king and queen. Dope. Hey, everybody gets what they want. And, to top that off, if Cyrax has a clutch of dragons... Aemond will get he'll be first pick of that clutch. And Viserys is like, oh, Rhaenyra!
Wonderful, judicious offer.
Like, right.
Oh.
That's why I made this girl queen. Because listen to that politics
coming at us
right
with the
there.
facts.
And Alicent, you cunt,
Whoa.
is like, Rhaenyra, your tits are leaking, bitch.
Yeah, doesn't
And
even
it's
just, hey.
Such a shaming,
Demeaning,
yeah.
just...
And Rhaenyra immediately is shamed, covers it up, and then Alicent's like, yeah, we'll consider it. Viserys needs to rest, and they shuffle off. And it's such a, like, betrayal of, like, femininity. Like,
sure.
You're not looking out for your girl, man, to call her out for fucking lactating, which, like okay, she just gave birth.
That, like wasn't it that morning?
Right, that, like, of course,
next day?
Yes, they start producing milk. That's what the human body does, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact that it's, like, this awkward moment is horrid. Especially she's offering to make peace. She's trying to bury this hatchet, and all Alicent's seeing it as is, you're trying to marry your bastards to my noble, pure blood
to make sure that
sons.
they get the name. And Alicent is guiding and escorting Viserys to their room upstairs, and they end up having a fight about this on the stairs. Yeah, she's fussing
over him, and like on the stairs,
walking up before she storms off.
He's like, it was a good offer, and she's like, yeah, you can do whatever you want when I'm dead, brah, and storms off. And then in the room, she's fussing over him. Lionel comes to visit.
I love Pet. I don't want the blanket.
She
just tucks it in.
Yeah, and then he allows Lionel, because Alicent's like, oh, the king's resting, but
I'll see you.
Let my bro in. And of course, Lionel, good guy that he is, he wants to resign hand to the king because of everything that's going on with Rhaenyra and Harwin, though he refuses to say it outright, which is called out straight up. Viserys is like, what is this dark shadow that's looming over your house? And Lionel says, I can't speak it. And even Alicent's like, yes, no, pray tell us your reasoning in plain wording. And like Lionel looks at her like, bitch. And it's like just the exchange, the eyes between Lionel and Alicent, and Viserys just being fucking clueless about this.
And he jumps in with the, well, if you can't say it, then I can't accept it. So you lose. Checkmate. Get the fuck out. Still the hand.
Worse, Harwin's like, or Lionel's like, hey, then can I ask your leave to return to Harrenhal to escort Harwin back there, as he is my heir. And he's due to inherit, and it's past time he took his rightful seat. And so Viserys grants him that leave, even though she's pissed about it. Alicent
right, because she...
Right, you're letting him run away, skirt away, and, like, nothing's going to happen of this. And that's why Lionel is clearly trying to get Harwin out of this shitstorm, and Alicent's aware of that.
Lionel leaves, and Viserys asks ever so politely, if I could you help me with my blanket? And she storms out. Yeah. First, he didn't want the blanket.
You're not going to help me?
Okay, come back. And so Alicent goes to her room for a little dinner time.
Right, dinner with Larry, who already started without her, which I love.
Well, it would be a sin to let the meat
indicative.
Get cold.
And then the shots of him were fucking wonderful. This little banquet hall, like tiny little banquet table. It's great. It's like it's
the
small.
The meat pie looks
but
so
it's all
good.
Set out all nice with candles, goblets, and stuff.
Were on there.
And then there was this certain angle they had of him where there were the windows where you could see the
sunset.
sunset.
But it was from the table, like down almost
behind
lower.
King's Landing, and it was just fucking beautiful. But yeah, they're discussing everything because actually he's like, you know, I'm supposed to be telling you the goings on, but tonight you know more than I do. So my father visited the king. What for? And she tells him to resign. And he's like, yeah, I figured as much because he's, you know, the honorable kind, and he's not going to, you know, his judgment is being influenced by these events. So he doesn't feel he can honestly give advice without being somewhat biased of protecting his son. And of course Larys is like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so she mentions that she so wishes that her father was still the hand.
Yeah, she slips up a little bit because he's like, oh, so like, you know, you want someone who is like, she's like, I want someone who's partial to me, like is what she says.
Yes,
I want the hand who is going to listen to me, because she feels like she has no allies here. No one's listening to her about Rhaenyra's children, and it's grinding her fucking gears that she had to marry this old fucking geezer who is literally degrading before our eyes and produce his children, while Rhaenyra, little set to inherit pretty princess, is free to gallivant around and fuck these super handsome dudes, super ass buff knights. Harwin Strong is a slice of beefcake that anyone in King's Landing would want, and Rhaenyra gets to flaunt this, and that's what we all know leads to the wonderful dagger scene where Alicent goes at her.
Yes,
because this is the start of that degradation of Alicent's fucking sanity regarding Rhaenyra being able to just flaunt this so willingly. And it starts, like, I think here with Lionel in this whole exchange in the bedroom.
Yeah, so we after the dinner there, we get this, it's so sad, the Harwin saying goodbye to his kids.
Yep.
And to Rhaenyra, and all three of the kids are there.
The acting between Emma and the actor for Harwin was great. Just like Rhaenyra clearly not being able to look at him, or she's gonna break down and she can't, and so
then both wanting to embrace each other
and
say,
and
you know, we'll see you soon.
I love you,
but they can't show that in front of, and Jace is locked in on it. He is
100%. He's tuned into the fact.
He's at that age where he can
Luke,
see.
you can see. He says his goodbye, but he's kind of the one, like, not
he's
quite sure what's going on.
But like he doesn't know why.
And then Harwin even says to Joffrey that you're gonna be a stranger next time we meet. Which the wording of that,
the stranger.
Yeah, the stranger. Like, the next time you meet is gonna be in the stranger's embrace once you're both dead, and just beautiful. Gives him a little peck on the head, and then we get Luke asking Jace, damn it. I even in Fire Emblem, when I was reading it, I mixed them up.
It's a shitload of fucking
Jace
Targaryen
asking,
names.
is he my father?
And she tells him, it doesn't matter because you're a Targaryen.
You're a Targ, bruh.
And so it's her confirming to him that is his father.
Yeah, but you're Targaryen blood and don't fucking...
Take notes, Ned. Say something to your bastard before they leave forever.
And so, then we get... and I think we're a little out of order at this point, but...
No, just barely.
Larys recruits the criminals in the
before
dungeon.
that...
Oh, it is before.
Rhaenyra goes and talks to Laenor, who's training out in the yard with Sir Carl Corey.
Yeah, time to go.
And tells him, we're done. We're not staying here
Fuck
anymore.
this place.
I should have gone a long time ago. And she turns his words back on him with,
the storm.
It'd be wiser
the
to
wise sailor
flees
before the gathering storm. Yep.
And she even, because he's upset.
He don't want to leave his boy.
She's like, bring him.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna need guys.
We need all the swords we can get.
I still don't hate you for anything.
Right.
Like I said, I don't begrudge you. We made the deal, but we need to be together, safe and Dragonstone.
Yeah, I like even because Laenor's first thing he says to her is like, "Oh, so he's gone then," and it's that like he knows she's in pain. Yeah. Like he knows this sucks for her. He went through something similar. I mean, like quite literally similar with the Harrenhal deaths with Joffrey. But it's that he knows what it is to lose someone that you love romantically. And so there is that kind of kinship. And then, I do like Rhaenyra's like, bring him. Like, this isn't to punish you. We shouldn't fucking be here with our kids and what we're doing. Like, we can't politically intrigue our relationship here.
He even does mention that with them gone, Alicent's gonna
pour her honey.
Yeah, and I really liked that.
The
and she was like, "We've gotta."
And it's the bee.
Yeah,
with Larys's fucking symbol.
Right after this scene, we get him showing up at the jail cell with his bee on his cane right there, and just tink.
Recruiting all the criminals of, hey, I'm gonna give you a shot, one opportunity.
So a couple things I'm gonna point out that I hate though is not. I don't hate all of these things. A couple things I want to point out. Starting is fun to see the beginnings of the children that Varys and Qyburn are using. Mm-hmm. Beginnings of that. Yep. That's the reasoning for it. So he's the original. Obviously, we know he's the master of whispers. What I hate though is because he goes and tells these guys who are in jail and they've been sentenced
various
to death,
crimes,
for whatever. I will give you a way out to live, but you have to. And he tells them they have to have their tongues removed. And then they show up outside of Harrenhal,
following the Strongs,
right?
Yep.
And they have these little fucking bee pins on. The motherfucker has the bee on his cane.
Sure.
Let's put these guys. Like, what if somebody sees them barring the doors and lighting this shit? Now they've got. Hey, I work for Larys. The guy that lit this place on fire. I work for Larys.
So that's
the
the cool thing. Like, it's pocketable.
Oh, they kept it on.
And it's also then I think a sign that gives them legitimacy should they end up.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
But no. I mean, certainly there is that. It's dumb to kind of flaunt who you're working for, but there's the wiggle room to say they're able to walk around kind of freely with this on their breasts because they can't talk. So if they are stopped. So it's better to have some sigil to
recognition.
But I don't think you're wrong there. And sends them after his father. And
right, we do get to see them arriving, and we get this sweet shot of Harrenhal over the mountain as they're coming up over the ridge.
And then we get Sir Lionel waking in the night, coughing, and him and Harwin are burned alive, as Harrenhal is prone to do. And this is also sort of coinciding with Laena's pregnancy.
Yeah, Laena's pregnancy.
Which is very laborious and not going well at all.
The doctor comes up and tells the maester, I don't know, is it doctors in
Pentos? I would assume it's like a soothsayer or a midwife.
He comes up and tells Daemon it's not coming out.
Right.
We don't know.
I'm at I don't know, like I've used all that I know to do.
And then gives Daemon
the same choice.
The exact same choice that Viserys made. Do we take her?
What was Daemon going to say if Laena didn't run
out? No, I don't think so. I don't think he was going to let them blade her if it killed her.
I honestly got the vibe on the second watch through, especially.
That he was?
I thought he was going to throw it to her.
See, that's where I was
It's
gonna
her.
like. It's not.
If she
it
wants
would be
to try to save the kid,
not up to me.
let
That's
her try
where
to
I
save the
was-
kid. If she wants to,
I don't think he would have made it.
I don't
happen,
either,
and so,
because I feel
it's
like
not my choice.
he could have made an effort to stop her from going and getting Dracarys by Vhagar, and I think he intentionally didn't catch up to her. She wanted a Dragon Rider's
I don't know if
staff.
I think that. I think she got where she wanted because she was down there for a bit begging Drogon.
Exactly,
Vhagar.
right. That's what I mean. Like,
And so I think that because he came running out like, ah, shit. And
Well,
so
right,
I don't
but
think that he was
I think
letting her.
I think he took his time. I think he intentionally let her go and die the way she wanted, the way
Sure,
a Dragon
sure.
Rider. But yes, it's fucking tragic.
Oh my god.
The childbirth kills her, and it's
Dracarys
gonna
and
kill
the-
her, and she wants a death worthy of a Dragon Rider. And Vhagar doesn't want to do it. He's all grumbly, and we
No,
get
I
the
lost Dragon Rider already.
Right.
I don't want to lose my
beautiful
Lena.
eyes blinking and everything.
And he's like, no, don't make me. And she's like, just fucking.
Yeah,
do it,
she's
please.
whimpering
begging
Dracarys,
him,
and yeah, then Daemon comes out, gets to shout her name, and she is engulfed in the flames. And then we start to get this beautiful montage with the voiceover of Larys and his little monologue about children being a fallibility.
Yeah, so I do want to mention because during that we see the Daemon up on the tower with.
We get
with
so like
Baela,
well,
and
like we'll go through
during that
'cause
montage,
it
but
starts
before-
to cut into
before
the
any
montage,
of it,
yeah.
there was Daemon a moment with Lena and
Daemon, yeah.
Baela.
Baela.
Where she says that Daemon, because she
Yeah,
was trying to hatch an egg.
She's
trying.
eating the
she has
egg,
never.
and she's like, "Dude, they're not gonna let me stay. Prince Reggio isn't gonna let me stay because I don't have a dragon, and it's so fucking sweet and sad."
And so she says that he ignores me. He didn't even fucking look at me. So I don't know what's so great about Dad.
Yeah,
Fuck
and
Dad.
Elena says like, he's doing his best.
Oh, he's doing his best.
doing his
Yeah.
best.
Yeah.
I mean, like.
That's it.
Both true and like not for Damon. Those statements are both
No,
Schrodinger's.
he's not. It's
His best is
He hasn't
probably
made up
not
his
something
mind
we
yet.
want.
Right.
Like, and so yeah. So then you're right. Then we head into the montage here, and it's wonderful. It's the remnants, the aftermath of Harrenhal, and it's also juxtaposed with the remnants of Lena's death, where we get sort of Harwin and Lionel being carried out, all bloodied and burned and horrific, and the shots of the little bee squad that lit the fire, and then that's juxtaposed with the remnants of Lena's charred skeleton,
right.
and Daemon telling the girls what happened and offering them no comfort as they are clearly distraught, head in their hands. Daemon kind of just strolls off, and it's a beautiful shot, but it shows
sad.
that disconnect of he's the dad. Like, there should be a group hug, there should be like, and there isn't. And yeah, Larry is doing this whole gross, children are liabilities, they open you up to weakness, and then he's plucking the flower in speaking to Queen Alicent, who is on the verge of a fucking panic attack.
Yeah, because he's also revealing here that he's the one that's responsible.
Hey, I killed Dad and Big Bro just so you could get your dad as canned.
His phrasing, because like the actor is brilliant. He's
Oh,
such a
fucking
like his
dude,
delivery,
his
is
smiles
so
are so
slimy
gross.
and-
Yeah, wonderful.
And he's like,
I love him.
Well, of course, because my queen asked for
Right.
it.
And what's
she's like,
servant of the
no,
realm?
I would never ask you this, Larry. And you wish
I
for
love
this,
his
and
musings on, he puts his fucking hands on his cane and then his chin on his hands.
Yes.
And you know what they say about Harrenhal? It is a cursed place. Passes judgment on all that and she's like, you pass judgment, Larry. You motherfucker. And yeah, just that. Oh shit.
I have a feeling you'll be rewarding me in the future.
Give me them feet, mama. Give me them feet. But
so
I don't.
vile.
I don't obviously think in this moment that's what he's talking
No, no,
about.
no, no.
It's a seat at the table. You're
It's
gonna
the,
give me a seat
I'm
at the table.
going to get power
and
absolutely.
And then I'll get to
I
look
hate
at
him.
Look at them feet. I love him. It's
I know
so,
I
like,
love him, but I
He's
hate him.
the little finger of this tale here, and
Right.
and Larys is fucking gross in the most bestest of ways. Also, there is the shot of Viserys mourning everything that was
Yeah.
of his empire, sitting at his little Lego building,
Man.
with the ring of Emma, I believe, Emma Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Her ring, is it Emma?
I don't know.
Fuck.
Right now, like, come on.
No, that upsets me.
You keep going.
Yeah, you look up her name. That pisses me off. Rhaenyra's mother. God damn it.
No, wrong one. We don't want that Viserys
Not
Targaryen.
that. Where's my sister? Daenerys.
Where's my
I love
sister?
the actor.
What did I pay you for? To make me sad?
Yeah, right.
He's good. Yeah.
But yes, Patty is not Patty. Well, Patty.
Viserys the
Viserys is mourning his dearly departed wife, who he killed. Let's make that clear. He gets no pass on that. But clearly, he's mourning the simpler times, and where his wife wasn't a scary, crazy-eyed lady who hates his hand, hates his daughter, and hates his grandchildren.
You were correct, by the way, Emma.
It is Emma, yes.
It's just that it's Emma spelled A-E-M-M-A,
Right, yeah,
so
okay,
it's
okay.
harder to... Yeah.
And he notes the rat crawling on the mantelpiece, which,
Blood and cheese, blood and
yeah,
cheese.
so right. So we're heading into season 2. We haven't started it yet, but we all know, readers of the book, this is, if you haven't read the book and don't know what's coming, tune away. But Blood and Cheese is coming, and we know that I believe Cheese, was a rat catcher in the city. And the rats have been a prominent thing, although, and I think it's beautiful, it's more
I don't think that Cheese was technically a person so much as the representation of rat catchers that was breaking into it.
Yeah.
And so, there was a rat catcher supposedly that was aided.
Yeah, right.
And they go in to kill the fucking kids of the queen.
Right.
It's gonna be
and so them using these rats in the first season to signify the corruption of Viserys' reign, this slow infestation, and then it'll be used as sort of the excuse, the catalyst, the reasoning for why there are rat catchers and why Blood and Cheese is able to happen. And it's fucking beautiful. Because this isn't
awesome.
The first shot with the rat. Last episode, we had the rat at the wedding feasting on the blood.
And I mean, they've been throughout
100%.
the last few episodes.
So it's just it's a fun recurring theme that will tie in nicely with the themes of next season, Blood and Cheese. Strong episode 6.
Yeah. First outing
for
the
new actresses.
And, they all kill it.
I love Olivia Cook, Emma D'Arcy. This show is bloody brilliant. It is clearly a love letter to these books. Ryan Condal, I really enjoy what he's done with it. Every actor in it fucking kills it. Harwin, Lionel, Damon.
Yeah, love or
Lena.
hate the original Game of Thrones. Who cares? This on its own is just beautiful.
It's wonderful. I like the writing, the way it's shot. The shots are beautiful
Mm-hmm.
and so interesting. We get to see King's Landing from so many interesting angles.
Speaking of beautiful shots, next episode we'll be watching is the Driftmark episode, season 1, episode 7.
Going to a funeral.
6 shots there, the ocean
and the
with
awkward
castle.
family gatherings.
Mm-hmm.
So join us for that, and pretty soon you'll, I'm sure, be hearing our season 2, episode 1 dropping.
I believe that'll be coming up here pretty soon.
But we're going to be flying through the rest of these season 1 episodes and also finishing up Storm of Swords. So we got lots of shit in our comeback for you guys, and it's good to be back.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet stuff. So you got any closing questions, comments? I had one quick thing I wanted to ask you. If they were in at the same time, do you think Larys would outmaneuver Littlefinger?
Yes.
Yeah, I just feel
Littlefinger is too attached to Catelyn in that whole the whole fucking errands and
Larys is like, there's feet everywhere. I'll
Right.
find new feet.
Allison's feet aren't like his be all end all.
Those are great. Those are great.
That's a perk though. It's a perk package.
Yeah, exactly.
That's his commission check at the end of the month.
I'm there as well. What about Varys? Do you think he'd stand any more?
I think Varys and Larys.
Yeah, the Varys
they need
and
a
Larys
spin-off show.
Fuck yeah.
I think that would be a
show.
great match because that is, I think, true self-serving evil versus a different
the true
sort
good
of
the people.
I mean, show Varys maybe.
Sure.
Book Varys, I think, is a lot more self-serving, but in a
Right, 'cause he's a
grander, bigger way. And so
Well, yeah,
I think
when you got the whole ocean you got to think about as well.
he's not a mermaid, but
in the book.
I think he's not. I think with the Blackfire, as I leaned into that theory with Varys in the book,
Yeah, sure.
it's a far spanning. Laris, it's more, how do I get
Where I
keep
want.
and stay in power and keep the people I want in power in power. Varys, it's the, how do I get my dynasty back, or the dynasty I'm fighting for back.
Sure.
And so it'd be a good matchup. I couldn't say who I think would come out on top between them, just because we haven't.
Yeah, that's
Varys
it's
hasn't
apples and
kind of
oranges.
stepped fully out, and in the show at least, we're still just kind of seeing what Laris is up to,
what he's
and I
capable
can't wait
of,
to. I love his slime. I like, just as fun as Aiden Gillian was to watch. Aiden Gillian was to watch as Peter Baelish. Laris is just as fun. Like, this dude is fucking deliciously smarmy, and I love it. I love his
stuff.
grins. I love his delivery. I could do less without the feet shit, but everyone's got their weird stuff. He's called the clubfoot for a reason.
Don't kink shame.
It's his dick.
Don't kink
That's
shame.
what the clubfoot is, dude.
My
It's not
lord.
because he's got a limp.
And with that,
Melody Harris!
well, no. I mean, if you're gonna jump to the end, then we still have to let them know if they'd like to.
They can write it.
Yeah, that's right. They can talk to us.
See,
and we will respond back.
You derail at the start.
Right, you just
I derail at the
fucking,
end.
You're just running us off. There's a bridge that's ending. I'm trying to pull the brakes, folks, but Zach's like fucking full steam ahead. If you would like to email us, you can do so at withoutmannersbrotherhood@gmail.com. That's pretty much where we're going to reply to you. We're not super active on the socials, so
What are emails?
But Spotify, there's polls and questions and shit. You can talk to us there as well.
But a liability.
Are you about done?
A fallibility. I don't remember the rest, so Melody Harris.
Good night. Peace!